Hello Mountaineer fans and welcome back to SVC Sports Weekly. I'm Mike Nosek alongside Dave Gage. And Dave, that was 10th Avenue Freeze Out by Bruce Springsteen. And we weren't really frozen up. We had a lot of rainouts last week. I know you took the brunt end of that, and we'll get to that action in a little bit here. Let's start off with men's volleyball, who actually wrapped up their season last week with the NECC semifinal match at Endicott College as the 4 seed. They battled Endicott really well, tied up 11-11 in the first set, and then it kind of slipped away from them, and the Gulls carried that momentum into the second and third sets for the 3-0 win. But Endicott ended up being the eventual champion, and they're going to the NCAAs this week. So it's hard to really say that, the Mountaineers put up a disappointing performance down there.
No, I think we talked about last week is Endicott was going to be very tough. They were a team that went 12-0 in the NECC play. And again, like you said, they ended up winning the championship, and it was a very good team. I was able to see them when they played at home, and a lot of good outside hitters, a lot of good middles, and all around just a very solid team. And might even make a run in the NCAAs here this coming week.
Absolutely, sometimes you kind of don't want to cheer for the other team, but you would like to see the NECC in our conference do well at the national level. So we might see some good things from the Gulls in those regionals, as you mentioned, and you can check out those scores and results on ncaa.com or the NECC website. Let's go over to baseball real quick, since those postpones are glaring at us from these papers we have. You got rained out at MCLA last week. You got rained out at home versus New England College. Then you went down to Leslie University for a weekend series and had some field troubles down in the Boston area. Unfortunately, you had to move 2 of the games to Daniel Webster College on Sunday, and you're making up the rubber match today down in the Springfield area at Elms College's home field. So kind of bouncing around all over the place here for you guys. A lot of, road games. Do you think that's going to negatively impact your team?
No, it's New England baseball, and you just sort of deal with it and roll the punches. And checkweather.com, it's your favorite. It's the first website that you open as a baseball coach or softball coach in New England, I'm sure. And you just hoping that you see sun that day. And I think we've done a good job of just making the most of our practices, and just when we got out and play, we make the most of it.
Now on Sunday, you defeated Leslie University 5-2. Freshman starting southpaw Zach Milton picked up his first collegiate win with 9 strikeouts in that performance. So a good showing there. Unfortunately, then in the second game, Leslie defeated you 3-2. But again, it seems like a lot of your losses here this year have been close games. And does that speak anything to how tough your team is to never let it really get away from them?
Yeah, we compete. Those guys compete every day. And going back to Zach here real quick, Zach threw a tremendous game on Sunday against Leslie. But yeah, this team does compete, and they don't allow games to get out of hand and give themselves a chance to win every single day. So that's definitely a positive from this program.
Now we look ahead, and you have only 2 weeks left of the season. This being a really big one, lots of games, especially with these postponements, starting to push things backwards. As we mentioned, you got that 3rd game of the series against Leslie today down at Elms. Then you welcome Daniel Webster College for an unorthodox middle-of-the-week conference doubleheader. That's tomorrow here at the Southern Vermont College campus, 1 and 3/4 o'clock game times there. Then you go to Williams on Thursday, and then you go to Elms on Saturday for 2. Welcome Elms on Sunday for the final match of that series. And then Monday you have the makeup at MCLA. So again, cramming a lot of games in a short period of time here. Do you see fatigue as being a factor?
It can't be. It's just an excuse. It really can't be. You just have to play. I mean, at the major league level, they play 162 games in 180, 190 days. So you just have to get yourselves in good shape. This is why we practice hard in preseason and put them through conditioning sessions. And baseball is a game that you want to play. You don't want to practice. And at this point, I think we just need to get better every day in our games and get more consistent. And our games are going to have a chance to do that.
Again, the Mountaineers host Daniel Webster on Wednesday for 1 and 4 o'clock. And then Elms College comes in Sunday for a 12 p.m. first pitch. Head over to the softball side real quick to wrap things up. Unfortunately, they lost both at Elms on Saturday. Then they came back to win both at Wheelock on Sunday, and unfortunately lost both to Leslie yesterday at home in games that were made up from March. Again, not ideal results in those Elms and Leslie games. Those are two of the better teams in the conference, however. You know, they kind of beat up on Wheelock a little bit with 16-0 and 17-2 wins, both in 5 innings. But it's good to see them grab those ones that they need, especially to get the ball rolling here, entering the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, they're right in the thick of the playoff hunt. You know, they're right there. They've beat the teams that they've needed to beat. They've split with a few of the teams that are ahead of them, and really put themselves in good position, as you said, in the last 2 weeks to hopefully get a couple sweeps on those doubleheaders and put themselves in the playoffs. And I know that's been the goal for the softball team all year is get in the playoffs and see what happens. And I really hope that they get some sweeps on those doubleheaders, like I said. And that's really what they need to do at this point.
Yeah, looking ahead to this week, as we mentioned, Leslie came up yesterday and took both there, 8-1 and 9-0 in 5. And now the team has a few days off. Helps them to recover. They're a little banged up. You know, a couple players walking around the Mountaineer Athletic Center on crutches. So they get that little bit of rest and then welcome Newberry College on Saturday for 1 and 3 p.m. games, and then go to Mitchell College on Sunday. So again, a little bit of rest, right back into the conference schedule, and if they can utilize what they've been doing well on the field and limit those errors, they could have favorable results that, again, as you mentioned, push them up in those conference standings.
Yep, exactly. And it's 4 big games this weekend, 4 conference games, and you say you probably got to go 3-1 this weekend, and if you do, it's something that maybe you get that 6th, 5th, 7th seed. You know, 7 teams make the playoffs in the NECC for softball, and hopefully we're one of the 7.
Sophomore pitcher Emily Fleming picked up her 2nd win of the season on Sunday in the 16-0 shutout complete game victory over Wheelock. And then we have to mention her twin sister Megan, who was named the NECC Player of the Week with a very impressive performance. Again, at Elms, the team kind of struggled and wasn't able to produce much, but they made up for it on Sunday. Megan hit .727 in those 4 games, including 2 doubles and 2 home runs for a 1.455 slugging percentage, 12 RBIs, 5 runs scored. These are, I mean, eyebrow-raising numbers that when I first told you, you said, really? No way.
Yeah, those are really ridiculous numbers. Like, you can add up batting averages from 2 weeks, and sometimes people don't get that. You know, if you add them, 320 plus 320 or whatever, if a guy has 2 good weeks, or, you know, a girl has 2 good weeks, 727 is just absolutely amazing. And 12 RBIs is another tremendous number.
Yeah, she was absolutely killing the ball there down at Wheelock on Sunday. And congratulations again to Megan for picking up that honor. Go back to men's volleyball real quick to mention a couple more honors on that side. Sophomore setter Herson Canta was named to the all-tournament team from the NECC championship, rather. And then junior outside hitter Anthony Barahona selected as an all-NECC honorable mention, the 3rd straight year in which he has picked up that honor. And congratulations again to Anthony. One more quick note we have here before we leave. As we mentioned, the Tuesday game at Leslie is being made up from the weekend, and therefore pushed the Tuesday home game against Union College to a date to be determined down the road. And we might kind of have to throw in the hopefully tag on that. As we mentioned, you're running out of days here. Almost playing 6 days per week and a couple doubleheaders there.
Absolutely, got a lot of games in a short amount of time, and make sure our kids are going to class at the same time.
Absolutely. So check back to svcathletics.com for up-to-date schedules, as well as more news and scores. Well, again, Dave, good luck this week, and Mountaineer fans, you can catch more of Coach Gage talking about his team when we go inside the dugout on Fridays, and we will catch you all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Go Mountaineers!